All right, let's jump straight into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really crucial framework for technology leaders, and it's all based on the insights of Arunava Chakravarty. Now, Arunava is an independent consultant and strategic advisor who brings over 30 years, 3 decades of enterprise program and delivery leadership to the table. We are going to focus on a massive shift that's happening right now in how program directors need to evaluate infrastructure modernization. We're going way beyond traditional governance to look at the real-world impacts of total cost of ownership, operational resilience, security, operating readiness, and of course, true business value.
Now check out this quote from Arunava. It's a bit of a reality check, right? I mean, we've all been there. We've all seen projects perfectly tracking their delivery status. Everyone's giving high fives because the dashboard is flashing green on schedule, green on budget, and green on scope. But here is the harsh reality. Perfectly executing your delivery doesn't actually mean you're making the right strategic choice. If your governance stops merely at delivery control, you might literally just be efficiently steering your enterprise right off a cliff.
So here's our roadmap for today to help you become a true technology decision leader. We'll hit traditional governance versus reality, dive into the platform cost trap, look beyond VM counts, and wrap it all up with the decision mandate. Let's get to it.
All right, Section 1. Traditional governance versus reality. Let's talk about the governance gap.
This setup really nails the difference. Look over on the left. Tracking procurement milestones, forecasting gross margins, keeping your RAID logs updated, that stuff is absolutely essential. Don't get me wrong, but it should only be the baseline of your program leadership, not the boundary. Now look over to the right. Moving beyond governance means you as a leader actually test how commercial choices affect the target operating model. It's all about surfacing those cross-functional trade-offs super early, so that a quick, local technical win doesn't suddenly spawn a massive enterprise risk or just totally kill your strategic flexibility.
To put this into perspective, let's look at how incredibly fast the ground can shift beneath your feet. Think about when vendors dramatically change their commercial models, like VMware's highly publicized shift from perpetual licenses to subscriptions under Broadcom. A platform decision becomes a commercial decision overnight. Do the math for a second. A seemingly simple, standard 100-host estate instantly explodes into 4,800 physical cores of commercial liability. That's huge. When commercial models are suddenly dictated by core counts or new bundles, architecture and procurement are no longer separate conversations. The big executive question isn't just, hey, can we migrate? It's actually, which operating model gives us the absolute best combination of value, resilience, and manageable dependency?
Moving right along to Section 2, the platform cost trap. Time to uncover some hidden complexities.
So, when those commercial models shift, everyone naturally looks for lifeboats, right? Enter KVM. It's a highly mature, rock-solid, enterprise-grade Linux virtualization tech. I mean, hyperscalers like Google Cloud use KVM for their compute engines, so this is way beyond some niche laboratory experiment. But, and this is a massive but you need to take away here, just because KVM is enterprise-grade for Google doesn't automatically mean your specific organization is ready to operate a KVM-based platform tomorrow.
Take a look at this decision path framework. Swapping out your current hypervisor isn't just updating an app on your phone. It's a fundamental rewiring of your entire operating model. The program director has got to look closely at these paths. If you jump to a KVM-based private cloud, you aren't just changing a hypervisor. You are changing the management plane, the backup integrations, observability, your automation tooling, and crucially, the skills your team needs. You even have to completely reassess your security controls against recognized frameworks like NIST CSF 2.0 because you absolutely cannot assume your old security posture just magically transfers over. Your job as a leader is to set the rigorous decision criteria across all of these paths.
I absolutely love this visual because it hits the nail on the head regarding modern FinOps. License savings alone are not your business case. A business case built purely on current platform cost minus future platform costs equals savings is deeply, deeply flawed. Look at the donut chart. That tiny little slice, that's your platform license. The rest of the total cost of ownership, the hardware, the migration effort, application remediation, training your ops team, security, resilience, and even exit costs, that makes up the bulk of your financial reality. A platform that's cheaper to license but creates huge skills gaps or requires massive app rewrites might actually end up costing you a fortune.
Okay, Section 3, Beyond VM Counts. Let's talk workload disposition.
If you're treating a migration like, hey, we have 1,000 VMs to move, you're falling into a massive governance trap. That is just an activity metric, not a strategy.
As a program director, you have to ruthlessly classify workloads by business criticality before you move a single byte. You need to categorize by disposition. What do we retain because it makes zero economic sense to move it? What can we easily rehost with minimal changes? What actually needs to be remediated or replatformed first? And for goodness sake, what can we simply retire? Migrating 500 low-risk utility servers might make your percentage complete metric look amazing for the board, but it is fundamentally different from safely migrating 10 complex, mission-critical systems. Progress has to represent true enterprise value delivered, not just busy work completed.
And speaking of those critical systems, get a load of this staggering metric from the Uptime Institute. It highlights exactly why resilience can instantly erase the economics of any migration. For 57% of respondents who had a major outage, it cost them a minimum of $100,000. For 1 in 5, it cost over $1 million. So if you optimize your annual run costs by jumping to a cheaper platform, but suddenly you materially increase your exposure to outages, failures, or data loss, well, that's not optimization. That is just risk transfer. And it's your job as the program director to stop that risk from bleeding into the business operations.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 4, the decision mandate. Let's connect these decisions.
This right here is your non-negotiable checklist, and you have to demand crystal clarity on this. Before approving any business case, test it. What are the true realized TCO savings? Are you actually factoring in the parallel running costs while you operate both the old and new platforms at the same time? And maybe the most critical one, do you actually have the day 2 operational skills in-house to patch, monitor, and recover this new environment once the high-priced migration consultants pack up and leave? You need an absolute guarantee that the organization can operate the target environment safely. Your dashboard needs to trigger interventions based on these hard realities, not just flash green to show a schedule is intact.
So what's your actual role in all of this? Look, as a program director, you don't need to suddenly become a KVM engineer, a cloud specialist, or a cybersecurity ninja. Leave the deep architecture to the architects. Your mandate isn't to own the hypervisor technology itself, it's to own the decision quality around it. You are the vital link connecting the decisions made by finance, architecture, security, and operations. You're the safeguard making sure a quick technical win today doesn't become a sprawling, massive enterprise nightmare down the line.
I'm going to leave you with this thought to chew on for your next major infrastructure program. Traditional governance is always going to ask, are we executing the decision correctly? But if you really want to lead, you have to relentlessly ask, are we executing the correct decision? Think about how you're going to integrate technology choices, commercial risks, and operating realities into one coherent strategy. How will you lead beyond governance? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer. I really hope it gives you a powerful new perspective for your technology programs.